Rain on the road to Oshakati, northern Namibia. This is one of the few regions of the country that gets regular rainfall in the first months of the year. But rain varies greatly in amount and timing. Heavy and long-lasting rain turns plains into fast-flowing rivers. Initially, the population welcomes the rain. It badly needs the water for their fields and livestock. However, rainfall combined with rimmed river channels have led to partially heavy flooding. For example, March 2008 and 2009. The flood caused serious damages to infrastructure and housing. The water forced thousands of people to leave their homes. The flood damaged the supply for drinking water, contaminating the water supply for households, creating a risk of cholera. Water, its extreme scarcity and its dramatic abundance, is a challenge for the country. The Namibian government, together with partners such as the German government, is working towards managing and protecting water resources.
Disasters like floods.
A workshop organized by German Technical Assistance GTZ in cooperation with UN Spider brings stakeholders together. The GTZ project, Water Resource Management, aims at implementing a sustainable water utilization policy. Martin Neumann, GTZ team leader, explains the objectives of the workshop.
But what we can do or what we can avoid is further destruction. We can avoid victims and we can avoid a lot of losses of life and losses of houses, losses of other things. This we have to do, that's one of our tasks, and for that we organize today. We want to increase the knowledge of the possibilities to use remote sensing data for flood management.
Today, participants from the Namibian government, UN agencies and other stakeholders discuss flood and disaster management with support of remote sensing data. The Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Forestry is a major partner of GTZ in water management. Workshops like these promote cooperation between national institutions for an improved disaster management. The next morning, the hydrological team of the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Forestry on their way to Oshakati. The ministry and its chief hydrologist Guido von Langhove aim to promote and facilitate the sustainable management and utilization of water. To develop capacity of the hydrological team, the ministry organized a field survey trip to the northern districts. The region is also area of the GTZ project. It is of particular importance for Namibia, as nearly half of the population is living in the north. In Oshakati, Guido von Langhove explains the objectives of the trip to the team. On this trip, the ministry officials want to monitor surface water, in particular those areas flooded last year. 2008 flood maps produced by the Center for Satellite-Based Crisis Information of the German Aerospace Center give directions. The maps are produced on the basis of radar data that allows to easily identify surface water. All areas covered by the water during the floods 2008 are marked on the maps in blue.
Because when I spoke to that lady, she didn't have any idea of what she had to do.
They first stop at a bridge. The bridge was washed away by water in 2008. It has been rebuilt with bigger culverts. Reason enough to take the GPS coordinates so the team can relocate the spot on their map. Second stop at a footbridge. The forces of the water are still visible. The bridge is close to a canal that transports drinking water from Angola to a water treatment plant in Oshakati. A boy from the nearby village shows how high the water flooded his home in 2008. The flood water also contaminated the drinking water canal. Waterborne diseases led to several deaths and increased incidence of diarrhea. The flat plain in northern Namibia is lined with normally dry basins that fill fast when water levels rise. To monitor the water level, the ministry has several systems in place. With data from the past, the hydrologists already have indications where the water could flow.
would see that there is a secondary channel in which the main channel spills at very high floods, and that comes here. And if you would maybe, I'm not saying block, but put a low embankment in the main channel and maybe lower the entrance to this channel a bit, you would divert a lot of the flood waters here. If you would then study the gradient of this channel joins the main channel again further downstream. And so in theory at least you could envisage that as a solution to keep most of the water out of Oshakati.
Recorded data of the extent of the flooded area and the further development of the water's flow is highly important for flood prevention. To understand the background, the team of the ministry attended training conducted by 2 experts from the German Aerospace Center. They learn how up-to-date geographic information can be used for flood prevention. The German experts explain them how flood maps are produced on the basis of satellite images and especially radar data. A map does not prevent a flood, but the group knows that with a detailed terrain model and flood maps, early warning systems can be developed. Recommendations for land use and spatial planning can be given to avoid roads and villages to be flooded. On their field trip, the ministry team often sees people who endanger themselves by building their homes close to river canals and dry riverbeds. In case of flooding, those are the first victims of the flushing water. The last stop is the connecting bridge from Ondangwa to Oshakati. Last year, the water level nearly flushed the road. Now, the water level is much lower. The bridge is a crucial bit of infrastructure.
People are concerned that this bridge may collapse because there's visible cracks in the dam, in the walls, and it looks a bit dangerous. And if this bridge breaks, then that's the only access road to Oshakati and the hinterland of Oshakati. And so if this bridge would collapse, there would be a tremendous problems with getting any supplies to Oshakati and the areas behind it.
The protection of people, their livestock, roads and villages from flooding is a challenge for Namibia. The authorities already take action. Here they construct new box culverts for a bridge. These culverts allow more water to flow through the bridge to avoid future damage. For further efficient water and flood management, cooperation of different stakeholders on local, national and international level is essential. The workshop, training and field trip are further steps towards the creation of a mechanism for coordination of water and flood management.